last race. Lul.
Yeah, because I think that learning a new route like 4 hours before the race isn't usually working very well, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. Okay, so we're on the way. Seems like there's a slight delay between the streams. That should be fixed soon, I hope.
Yeah, it's gonna be fixed in a few seconds probably. So they're starting both Hunter and Fire Bombs at least. There's that.
Yeah, for sure. So that means that later on in the game they're gonna have to both do a certain skip called Blighttown Skip, which is quite a tricky one, but both of these players should be able to nail it. But if you're under pressure, then you never know what's gonna happen, honestly.
Yeah, horrible things can happen under pressure.
Yep. So we will see both players using the Black Fire Bombs to kill the Asylum Demon, first boss of the 26 bosses that this game has to offer, including DLC.
Yeah, and this boss is actually harder than Calamite, at least according to Siege.
Oh, my dog. So both players getting decent openings. There's a couple attacks that Asylum Demon can do, but basically you only waste like a second or maybe second and a half if he does a different opener that doesn't really suit your needs.
Yes, but oh no, never mind. I was about to say that's the only RNG part, but not if you start Hunter. I'm used to 80% no wrong warps.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still the holos before leaving the Asylum that can even out the thing, so it's all good.
Yeah, exactly. They're both gonna go up to the Asylum, pick up, you know, the bow, so then the holos might block them, they might not. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, so they need the bow for a glitch called move swap that we will see and explain later, I guess.
Yep. So Sa's getting blocked, pretty unlucky. Siege didn't get blocked but messed up. But yeah, other than that, they haven't really lost that much time yet. Normally on these doors you would see a quit out during normal runs, but since this is timed RTA, obviously, because it's a tournament, not doing the quit out is actually slightly faster. Normally we use in-game time, which is like the most consistent, or rather, it is consistent across all the platforms and whatnot, so it is really handy to use in-game time on the leaderboards.
Yeah, across all the platforms and also across different various PCs, because it like takes frame rate into account, so it's pretty good for really good for speedruns.
Exactly.
It's kind of funny because the way they've coded it is really bad from a development point of view, because everything is tied to frame rate, but for us speedrunners, it's just like perfect.
Yep. All right, so you saw Siege do some menuing on the fog gate. You're gonna see that a lot. Both players are gonna try to menu as much as possible during being on elevators, on ladders, stuck in certain animations like the fog gates, because you always want to minimize the amount of menuing that you're doing outside of the place where you don't have to move, basically.
Oh, Siege missed the merchant snipe. So they're currently they're throwing bombs over the wall to be able to kill a merchant with fire bombs without having to visit him, but Siege is gonna have to if he doesn't get it. No, okay, he got it.
Okay, he got it. All right, now we're also gonna see Siege do low-rounded bird skip, which is just simple abusement of the level design. He didn't go for the fall damage cancel that you saw Saas do. Saas plunged a little slope, and that way he could roll midair and iframe the damage that he would normally take from the fall, which allows him to skip healing, as you saw Siege use that Estus to heal up there for safety.
Yeah, so Kata explained earlier that we avoid doing quit outs during races, but here they're doing quite a bunch. This is definitely slower to do, but this is to make everything way more consistent, because quitting out respawns enemies back to their original positions, so that allows you to de-aggro dogs or thieves that are following you. So even in-game time, those are slower, we still do them anyway.
Exactly. So if you didn't know, then if you quit out in this game, the enemy's positions are reset, unlike, for example, in Dark Souls 2, when it doesn't happen. So quit outs are really handy when it comes to resetting the positions for safety, or to be able to sit at a bonfire, for example, if an enemy is close, etc.
Yeah, so Siege used extra firebomb, so he's gonna have to. Hopefully, he doesn't forget that he has to buy some for later on, because otherwise that could end up pretty awkward.
Yeah, if he doesn't forfeit before that.
Yeah. Or just crush under the pressure.
So you see Sass jumping around the barrel, a thing that Brood failed, haha. But yeah, you can jump on the left side of the barrel without it hitting you, and effectively saving quite a bit of time. Siege got it as well, Brood is taking notes. So now we're gonna see Sass approach the second boss of the game, Taurus Demon. Let's see what strat he goes for. He might do the one-handed strat, I'm not really sure. Okay, so what Sass is doing is one-handed attack, one-handed running attack into a normal R1, which helps him set up the poise in such a way. Oh, he got hit, unfortunate. I think the poise will still be there. I think he could have gone for that attack there, but...
Nah, the poise, like it's kind of weird how Taurus works, but if he hits you, he can also like poise damage himself. So that's why sometimes you can see like Taurus. Himself. Yeah. So usually, personally, when I get a hit, I never like assume I can still stagger him. But yeah, this game is weird.
Yeah, makes sense.
Siege is catching up though. This insane
He's catching up slowly but surely. Indeed. You're gonna see both players aggroing Hellkite Drake with the bow, and then they're gonna apply the resin once again, just like they did for Taurus, and then cut the tail to get the Drake Sword. Drake Sword will be used for the next 2 bosses. It's a pretty good weapon before they get the actual weapon that they're gonna be using for the entire run.
Only for one boss for Siege, because so far they've been doing the same thing, but actually Siege is gonna do something different now.
Very, very true.
Damn, they forgot to kill the Black Knights.
Damn,
doing the
they could have dropped the shield. Hello? So yeah, let's see if Siege indeed does go into the church. And he's going there. Alright, so what we're gonna see is the first difference between the routes. And you're gonna see Sass doing a couple things here around Undead Parish. And Siege is gonna completely skip that and perform something that we call the Sensegate skip.
Yeah, so the Sensegate skip is a glitch that allows you to just enter Sense Fortress without ringing the bells. Although he's still gonna ring the bell later on. So what he's gonna do is like he's gonna aggro this soldier. So he did a quit outs for the same reason that I explained earlier, to like reset the enemies so the other soldiers don't follow him. And then he's gonna parry him on the correct heights on the stairs. Like the important thing is the height. And that way he's like just above the kill box, so the zone of the game that kills him, but still not too high. So you get this weird camera that happens, and when this camera is enabled, the game doesn't load or deload new assets. So now, as he gonna get closer to Sense Fortress, the game is just not gonna load the gates. So he will be able to just walk through it.
In the meanwhile, Sass took the Undead Parish bonfire that we saw Siege just take right now during the skip. Sass took it normally. He's going to approach the Hollow Room, which can be quite a dangerous place, but he handled it perfectly, played the safe way, blocked the Hollows, no problem, and he's going to approach Gargoyles, his third boss of the run.
Yeah, so here we're going to see the first move swap from the run. So that's why we needed to get the bow. Yeah, never. And yeah, okay. So what he did there is he used action queuing. So you can press a button to perform an action while you're busy doing another one, and that action is queued, and the game does not prevent you from doing menuing in the meantime. So what Sass did here is two-handing the bow while he was busy doing something else, and before the animation was over, he replaced the bow by the Drake Sword. And now he's two-handing the Drake Sword instead of the bow. And the side effect of that is that swaps some attacks of the right-hand weapon, in that case the Mailbreaker, to the Drake Sword. So that's why he has this super quick running attack. It's actually the one from the Mailbreaker, not the Drake Sword.
Yep. It's the Bread and Butter glitch that you're gonna see both of them executing a lot during the run. It's the glitch that you use in like almost all
everywhere.
routes in Dark Souls 1, yeah.
Except no achievements. The only menu category.
No. Okay, in the meanwhile, Siegewell is going flawlessly through Sense Fortress, pardon me. The cycles are always the same, so as long as you know what to do, it's usually calm.
Yeah, so the reason Siege is doing something different is to avoid having to do what Sass is exactly doing right now, which is having to physically go pick up RTSR. So RTSR is a ring that is going to be used by both runners. It's like pretty much the most overpowered thing in this game. Like that isn't a glitch. I mean, like the most intended thing in the game that you can use that is just completely broken. But Siege is going to do a newly discovered glitch that will allow him to own the ring without having to physically pick it up. So that's why the starts are very different.
Yep.
Which means that... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, go on. You go ahead.
Yeah, which means that theoretically, Siege should have a faster route.
Yeah, but roughly like 30, max 40 seconds.
Oh, the plunge! I didn't know that one.
Yeah, that was pretty slick, pretty sexy right there. Okay, Siegewell in the meanwhile is going to be fighting Iron Golem without RTSR, the ring that Sass is going to pick up shortly. With a proper setup, Iron Golem is kind of fine even without RTSR. Basically what Siege is doing, he's attacking the lower part of his legs, trying to get enough damage to stagger him like he did right now, and then he's going to attack and make him fall off, because if you get enough damage after he's staggered, he's gonna fall on his butt, and after he does that, if you have the right angle, he's just gonna fall off the bridge. I'm quite disappointed Siege didn't do his patented Romanian backstab.
But I guess you don't need to in this run because you have like the cookie shield.
Yeah, but it's cool. Style points.
Oh right, sorry.
Alright, so Sass has made his way through the dragons, which can be quite the tricky thing to do sometimes, but fortunately he didn't even get trolled on the ladder. Like sometimes you can just get two-shot on the ladder, like that would be really, really bad, but nothing like that occurred. So he's gonna pick up the RTSR. And what RTSR is, it's a ring which when you're under 20% health, it's gonna effectively double your damage. Like it's supposed to be a 50% boost to AR, but effectively, once you attack, you basically deal double damage to what you're normally supposed to.
Yeah, it depends on the build. The calculation is a bit complicated.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I think Siege is peaching because he's not supposed to grab this bonfire.
No, he's not supposed. He's not supposed to take that bonfire. No.
Shaking my damn head. Yeah, so he's taking it safe. Yeah, he's taking it safe because the rafters, even if you take it safe on the rafters and you go full HP, they can still potentially one-shot you, and for Siege that would mean warping all the way back to Wounded Pairs, so yeah. Yeah,
and having to do Sense Gate skip again and whatnot, that would basically be that forfeit at that point.
Yeah. Alright, Saastutin is also doing Sense Gate skip now.
Yeah, Saastutin is his business around Undead Parish, and now he's basically following Siege's routes, except he already killed gargoyles and has RTSR right now. So currently he's like further progressing through the game's goal, but if Siege plays it well, then he should be ahead by now, basically.
Yeah, I think I didn't do, like, I don't know about the route exactly that she's doing, but I think the route Siege is doing is like around 30 seconds faster, so that's pretty much, I guess, how much ahead he is. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that should be correct. I mean, if Sass doesn't take the Analondo bonfire, then he's basically gonna delete that difference.
Oh right, yeah. Damn. I don't know if he's aware of it. So
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So Siege is picking up the how is it called? The Dark Moon Tomb bonfire now.
Yes.
So there's he's gonna do the Analondo bosses a bit earlier than I guess like other routes can do. Like especially in the marathon, usually people do routes like Dragon Tooth +5 that do Analondo at the end, like the Kimp on the previous race, for example. Yep. But yeah, this route is a bit more I don't know, straightforward, and it will just do Priscilla way earlier than usual.
So the one thing is that, like I saw in the chat, potentially 30 seconds faster. That's a very, very good point, because him missing RTSR means that some bosses that he's gonna be fighting without RTSR can be quite tricky and are more RNG heavy than SAS will have them. So potentially he can save up to 30 seconds if he gets good RNG, but if he gets bad RNG, then we're talking about maybe even losing time over SAS's route.
Yeah, for example, SAS already has RTSR, so that's why he got hit by Hour Traps on purpose on his way to Iron Golem like he is right now. So his Iron Golem fight will be way easier and more consistent and faster also in that case. So that's gonna be the like true for the next 4 or 5 bosses maybe. I don't know exactly how many bosses Siege is gonna do without RTSR. I can't count. I'm lazy.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be ONS, Stray, and that's it, right? Because I think he doesn't get sent before Priscilla.
Yeah, he gets it. Yeah, right. He doesn't do like Sword of Mage where you do Priscilla with RTSR. So.
Although technically that's like a bit slower, but yeah, he's gonna like get less RNG in Painted World, but he's gonna waste like 10 seconds. Alright, so SAS making short work of Iron Golem. Now the question is if he's gonna peach out or not, if he's gonna take the London Bonfire. Oh, he's healing, so it's probably not.
Yeah,
damn.
it's not, yeah. Meanwhile, Siege took the Manly Bonfire. That's like the Bonfire of Manliness. You always take this one if you're manly, by the way. Especially during races. It's in routes where you use the Dragon Tooth, like they're both doing right now. It's actually not too slow to pick up that Bonfire. Because you... Oh, I guess... Is it faster real time to not bone?
Yeah, I was questioning that earlier, and I decided to go with the bone back. But yeah, I am not sure, to be honest.
I would go to with the bone back as well, but
yeah, especially since he doesn't need to set up RTSR, so he can just go straight for the staircase.
Oh right, because he doesn't have RTSR. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. How lucky, I mean, how talented Siege is.
Yeah, this fight is... I mean, he can probably survive, but if he gets bad RNG, he's going to lose a lot of time. So you see him heal first. That's because without RTSR, he can actually take 1 hit. He's going to put on his armor because he's mid-rolling anyway.
The 10,000 IQ armor. Being able to
poise the good opener.
Things.
Gets 2 hits in, then he's going to get... Okay,
look at the talent.
That's really good.
Look at so much talent on my screen right now.
This must have taken years of practice to hone his craft.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not, we are memeing, but it's like Siege knows exactly what he's doing. But getting a perfect fight like that is also like that's super lucky.
Yeah, I mean, the RNG basically allowed him to just do 3 running attacks to Oni without being interrupted by Smo at all. Then again, credits to Siege for positioning himself correctly, increasing the distance between him and Smo as much as possible, thus not getting hit. The attack that Smo did has quite a big hitbox, so he easily could have gotten hit there if he was a bit closer. Wish I had this luck in my runs.
Yeah, very well played.
So Siege shot Illusion of Guinevere because it's actually faster than just talking to her to get the Lord Vessel. And then he times his bone back so that he basically bones right after the cutscene back to the bonfire.
I'm not sure what he's going to do right now exactly. Is he doing gargoyles? Yeah.
Yeah. So he should do gargoyles, then buy the items from Andre, and then go... No, actually, no, he's gonna do gargoyles, Stray Demon, buy items from Andre, Painted World, and then just continue on.
Yeah, as far as I know, pretty like only Siege did this route so far. I think maybe maybe Nax tried it in a race, but I'm not sure. So yeah, I'm personally not really familiar with this version of the route that Siege is doing.
Well, I tried doing this. I was considering doing this for my previous rounds
Oh, you did?
in the tournament. Yeah, so I like went through the routes basically fully, but I can't really remember all the details.
Oh, right. And didn't you just stop on the mid-roll of Torias or something?
Yeah, I was like, no, this is not for me. Like losing 30 seconds and having mid-roll halfway through the game, I was like, no. So yeah, Siege is gonna... Exactly.
I mean, if he doesn't die to it, because, you know, people, like some people already have died to gargoyles with the dragon tooth. I'm not gonna say names.
Wow.
The manly bonfire for Sass as well.
Yeah, I mean that's a must in a race like this.
Yeah, it would especially like. Oh wait, no, never mind. Yeah, no, I mean it's like a 4 minutes, 3-minute time loss if you don't take it. It's
yeah,
it's a really dumb thing to do.
Yeah, he's got both runners ring the bells eventually because of a certain scenario in the late game. We're gonna talk about that a bit later, I guess. But yeah, you wanna ring both the bells anyway to get faster access to the filing altar.
Yeah, like there is a bonfire. Like the way bonfire works in this game is quite unique to the other Souls games because warping to a bonfire and resting at a bonfire is like two different things. So there is some interesting routing that you can do because in Dark Souls 1 not every bonfire is warpable, so you have to be very careful. If you lose a bonfire, then you would have to walk back there. So it's actually because like to avoid some backtracking, it ends up being faster to just ring the bells to wake up friend than having to take another bonfire and having to do some backtracking.
Alright, so Siege is on his way to Stray Demon. In the meanwhile, Sass peached out his move swap and did a move swap before the fog gate.
Yeah.
And he's gonna approach the fight with RTSR, which makes him able to two-shot Ornn. Let's see what RNG he gets.
Oh, the counter hits. That's good though. I think he's gonna kill him in like one hit now, right? Oh, another rolling it. Oh, even a rolling attack works.
Nice.
Yeah, very good, very good.
So he played it very safe. He could have probably YOLO'd that attack on Ornstein before, but he wanted to certainly make sure that Smo is stuck in some kind of an animation so he doesn't troll him with like a shovel or something. Alright, really good fight, really good fight.
Meanwhile, on the right, welcome to all bosses in 2018. So this fight is already bad in the fastest all bosses routes. Like the route Siege is doing right now is not the fastest, but yeah, this fight is even worse in this route. It's like so bad. The damage.
Look at the damage. Look at the damage he's dealing right now.
But,
it takes 9 attacks, 9 move swap attacks to kill Stray with Dragon Tooth without RTSR.
Yeah, because Siege still doesn't have RTSR, so he and the only way to get RTSR, we will explain a bit later, but he has to do the Painted World for that. So, and the only way to access the Painted World is to kill Stray Demon. So he's stuck with this super crappy fight. He played it well though. A lot of butt slams, but
yeah, not the best RNG, but he definitely played it well. Meanwhile, Sass is doing something different that Siege skipped because he's missing RTSR, so he wouldn't be able to one-cycle Gwendolyn. Meanwhile, Sass is gonna go ahead and kill him. He's gonna set up RTSR with one of his attacks.
The 10,000 IQ bone back, holy crap.
Oh, he got it. That's a shame.
Yeah, so this boss is, like the boss that Sass is doing right now, it's like one of the most RNG heavy boss. Because there's 3 different attacks, but there's only one that you can punish, so... Yeah, luckily in this run you do it very early, so for a serious attempt it's pretty good to get rid of the RNG pretty early on into the run.
Yep, and you saw one cycle, he got a stagger on the first hit, and then the second hit without any troubles finishes Gwendolyn in one cycle, as I said. In the meanwhile, on the right side, you saw Siege do some menuing. You would probably want to explain what quantity storage is?
Sure, well, the thing is, like, the glitch is gonna do is like a mix of like other glitches. So the first glitch that he's done is called quantity storage. So he bought 999 arrows to Andre, and by doing some specific menuing, he can, by viewing the prompt of the 999 arrows, he can store that and buy a pike. But actually, he's buying 999 of them because of the glitch. So in the equipment, it actually looks like one single pike, but it has the weights of 999. And the way your inventory works in this game is that there's a leftover mechanic from Demon Souls. So in Demon Souls, you had a limited amount of weight that you could carry. And in Dark Souls 1, it's theoretically not the case. It's supposed to be unlimited, but it's actually not. They just put it like a super high limit. So by buying a pike that weighs 999 its normal weight, he can do what is called inventory cramming, which is when your inventory is actually completely full. And because of that, he's going to be able to do another glitch that is called equip slot manipulation, or flexings, or and thanks to that, he will be able to equip a consumable as a ring. I don't know. It's very complicated. I don't know if I can go like more into the details, but
yeah, I wouldn't really go into the details. But basically, if you equip something in some kind of a slot that you have in your inventory, the game only checks the ID, not the. It doesn't really check what kind of item it is, right? Yeah. So what he's gonna do is he picked up a consumable here at the top of these stairs, and that consumable has the same ID number as RTSR, Red Tear Ring, and then he's basically gonna be able to equip this consumable into his ring slot, and the game thinks that the ID matches, and then the item acts as RTSR. So you see that he has RTSR all of a sudden. He doesn't physically own it, but he has the effect on.
Yeah. And yeah, this glitch requires your inventory to be crammed in the first place, which is why he bought the pikes.
Exactly.
It's not specific to the pikes, by the way. It's just like the pikes is just the fastest way to get your inventory crammed, but you could cram your inventory with pretty much anything.
Yep. So Siege killed the Undead Dragon, picked up the Dragon Scale, which he's gonna use to upgrade his weapon. And then he made the Dragon Butt stand up by doing a plunge attack or jump attack. And now he's going to fight Priscilla with RTSR.
Yeah, that jump attack thing is pretty funny, and it's not specific to these Dragon Bots. You can do it to a few NPCs as well. For example, Vamos in the Catacombs, when he's just hammering on his thing, you can do the same thing. You can do like a jump attack on him, and that will make him stand up. It's just like... As far as I know, it's like when you stagger an enemy, like it just forces them back into the how's it called, like the default animation. I don't remember.
Idle animation.
Yeah, idle animation. Thank you. All right, so now that Siege has RTSR, his route should be pretty similar to Saastutin's one, in terms of like damage and bosses. And the boss order is a bit different though, but. Like he's doing Gwendolyn later, like he's doing it now because he finally has RTSR.
So Sass is gonna do the same thing with the Undead Dragon.
Yeah, I guess we didn't say it really because Siege did really well and we were talking about ESM, but this dragon kill is actually really hard to get used to. It's like for new runners, it can be very difficult to do it properly.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It doesn't look like it, but the dragon is actually waking up. Oh, there we go. Sass failed it. That's unfortunate. So the Undead Dragon is waking up and charging through the bridge. So you have to kill it before it wakes up and before it kills you.
Yeah, this is a big blow. This is a big blow. The first major mistake of either players. Sass knows that he messed up right now, because this I mean, as Capitan said, it's quite tricky, but once you get used to it, it shouldn't really cause issues. You might have noticed that both that Siege and Sass did different methods. Siege attacked the neck, and Saas went for the paw. But unfortunately, he aimed a bit too far to the left, so he only hit one part of his running attack, right? Because the running attack deals damage in 2 ticks, and he only hit one part of it, and that's not enough to finish the Under Dragon off.
But yeah, at least he didn't double KO with it, because the Under Dragon drops the Dragon Scale to upgrade the Dragon Tooth. But if you double KO with it, then you lose the drop, and that would be really, really bad news if you did that.
Yeah, for sure. Meanwhile, Siegewell is approaching the Darkroot Garden. He bought some stuff at Andre. He bought a new shield because he didn't pick up the Grass Crest shield, which Saas did, which is a really good shield because once you have it on, it replenishes your stamina faster than without it, you know? Okay, so Saas, attempt number 2, he got it. Very nice. But since Siege didn't pick up that shield, he bought a different one from Andre. Siege took the hidden bonfire. That's one of the bonfires that Capitan was talking about, that if you lose this bonfire, you cannot warp back to it. So what Siege is going to be doing, he's going to be keeping this bonfire as much as possible so he can just boom back to it all the time.
Yeah, because it's like the closest bonfire to the DLC, and there's also quite a good amount of bosses around it, so that's what Siege is going to do right now, like the forest buds, and then we will be able to go to the DLC without having to use another bonfire.
Right now we're gonna see Siege set up RTSR on...
Nice
no, he's gonna reverse his camera, hello? What?
Strat, I guess.
So he got hit by the tree. Oh, game crash?
No, he quitted the game by himself. I don't know what he's doing.
There's an issue, I guess? Maybe he got hit by the demonic foliage, so he was like, no, I'm out of this.
Shame on me. Yeah, okay, so we're starting the game. I don't really know what he's doing.
Oh,
Installed a no-logo for races, by the way, yeah.
Yeah, shaking my head. So he's losing quite a bit of time now, so this gives Saas, like, an opportunity to catch up.
Yeah, in-game time he's like barely losing anything, but yet again, we're going by real time, so that's like quite a huge time loss, actually. Okay, he's gonna have to heal now.
Okay, let's see what setup he does. He's just gonna roll. Okay, he got RTSR, very nice. So, one thing to point out is that the fall damage in this game is calculated based on like the percentage of maximum health. So, no matter how much health you have, you're always gonna take the same damage from the same fall.
Yeah. So Hydra is like one of the trickiest fights in these routes, because in order to kill it in the least amount of cycles possible, you can't just cut ahead with the Dragon Tooth, you also have to cast magic at the same time. So the way to do that, to get the proper attacks and everything, it's pretty tricky.
Yeah, he handled it really well though.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Same.
So the reason he's killing Hydra is to get into the DLC, because Hydra is not technically a boss, so defining by the rules, he wouldn't have to kill Hydra, but he needs to free Dusk to be able to access the DLC, which has 4 bosses, and obviously since this is all bosses with the DLC, he needs to kill them.
Yeah, so I guess now Saas isn't that far back anymore.
Yeah, that's really cool. Now you can see that like they basically kill the same amount of bosses, so you see exactly how far ahead Siege is currently.
I guess we didn't explain the plunge, although this one, with full control, I can't really make a rational explanation on why it works, but yeah, you can cast full control and do a plunge animation, and at the same time you fall off. And if you have full control and you hit the ground before your plunge animation is over, then you just survive the fall. So that makes these drops very, very easy with full control.
From soft magic, honestly.
Yeah. God bless Miyazaki.
So Siegewell is approaching Sif. He used an enemy to set up his RTSR range again. And Sif can be quite a tricky fight sometimes. Like, I would say Sif is one of the most RNG-heavy bosses in the game, because he can give you a really, really good fight by not really doing much, and then you finish it with like 3 running attacks and it's over. Or what can happen is Sif can decide to jump around and waste you like 20, 25 seconds, and it's not really pleasing.
Yeah. Hopefully this goes well.
Also, Sass peaching the golden golem.
Yeah, not going for like the 2 seconds time save, shaking my head.
Yeah, I mean, Siege did it.
Alright, good opening. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I don't get why he does this one sometimes. Like, it's the same weapon swing.
Oh.
Yeah, that attack is like super fast, and if he does it like he did here, like at a bad timing where Siege was still like in the end of his running attack animation, it can be really hard to dodge.
Yeah, this was a mistake on Siege's part. What he should have done in that scenario is he should have attacked more on the left side, and then he would have been in such a position that that attack would have whiffed. So that was just a slight miscalculation, really, that cost him. However, it's still very unfortunate that he got this very specific attack. Like, that's the only attack that could have killed him in that scenario.
So I guess Sass is ahead now.
Yeah, he is. How fitting, though, that Siege died on the dog.
Siege is all about birds now. Dogs are over.
Oh, damn. Well, I'm pretty sure he will still try to salvage this. Yeah, you see him cast Full Control now, because what Sif can actually do as well is, like, with these little jumps, Sif can deal a little bit of damage to you, and then if you're too low on health, he's just gonna kill you by jumping away. Like, see, like, here Sass did an attack, but he was in such a good position that the fastest attack whiffed. So that was pretty much picture perfect fights for that RNG.
Yes, like what Kara just described is usually what we call chip damage, and Sif is not the only one that can do that. Quillag, most notably Quillag, is the second worst, especially in 90% force quits. But it can also happen to other bosses, for example, Iron Golem. Usually in casual playthrough, it's not a big deal because you have way higher levels, and chip damage are based on the resistance of your character, which is based on your soul level. But in speedruns, you tend to fight bosses quite low on your levels compared to casual playthroughs. So chip damage is like quite important actually in speedruns.
Yeah, that's why Siege casted the Full Control, to like not take damage from the next fall.
Yeah, the more HP you have, the better it is for Sif.
Yeah, for sure.
In the RTSR range, I mean. So they've both killed Lautrec now, so that's like that guy in a golden armor that we don't like. The difference though is that Siege is actually not going to use the ring all the way until the DLC. So because of the glitch that we explained earlier, that he managed to equip the red side soapstone as an RTSR, now he has that ring, but the problem is that he can't unequip it without having to do the glitch again, and doing the glitch takes time, so he's just not going to unequip RTSR anymore. And because of that, he cannot equip the FAP ring, because the FAP ring is also a ring that you can only equip once. If you remove it, then it gets broken, you lose it forever. So but Sass is not going to have this problem, so after 4 kings, Sass will be able to fast roll, but Siege won't.
Yeah, so the FAP ring, I don't know if you explained what it does.
No, I didn't.
So the FAP ring gives you extra health and stamina, or endurance rather, which is gonna come in really handy, because as you could see, both players are mid-rolling right now, and Sass, when he equips the FAP ring, he's gonna be able to fast roll while being moose-warped. So that's a big deal. Anyway, is that?
No, it's okay in this route.
That's okay, yeah, true. So basically what Sass is going to be doing on 4 kings, and Siege as well, they're both going to be trying to set them up in such a way that they're going to... Basically, there's supposed to be like 4 kings spawning, right? And after a king dies, you can still damage his body and deal damage to the overall health bar. So that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna try to set the king low as low as possible, and they get 2 last running attacks in. And as you can see, half of the entire health bar is gone, and that way he's actually gonna be able to finish the fight with just killing 2 kings.
Yeah, pretty bad RNG for both runners right now.
Exactly.
Like Sass got a lot of horizontal attacks without follow-ups, so that's pretty bad because you don't have enough time to attack. And Siege got like a magic opening, so.
Oh. So
that's
Sass messed up the setup, yeah. Sass unfortunately missed one of the attacks. Like, as I said, double tick on the running attack, so you need to account for that. And he missed one tick of it. The very last one. So there's literally just one hit. And Siege is dead. Damn.
Siege got greedy, I guess.
Yeah, Siege went a bit too ham. Meanwhile, Sass waited for the 3rd king to spawn and finished him off. Oh, this is escalating quite quickly. Both players making some questionable mistakes, although Sass still being in the lead, obviously, because he didn't die.
I can't even imagine the amount of oh my dogs Siege is doing right now.
Yes. God damn it.
Honestly, like watching Siege without his commentary over it is just like half the pleasure.
So what you saw Sass do is he went to the Firelink altar using Kath, and then placed the Lord Vessel, and then didn't rest at the altar, but instead warped back with a bone to the Dark Roots Garden, and from there he warped to Analondo, and he's gonna do the Durk's Archive section right now.
Yeah, so like I explained, unlike other Souls games, warping to a bonfire doesn't change your bonfire. So although Sass warped to Analondo, his bonfire is still the Dark Root bonfire. So that's the reason you need to still ring the bells, because the other solution would be to take the Abyss bonfire, so you could warp to the Abyss again and talk to Kath again when you wanted to go to Gwyn at the very end. The problem is that the only way in Dark Souls 1 to make a warpable bonfire warpable is to rest at it, and doing that would make him lose the forest bonfire. So that's the reason why he's not taking the Abyss bonfire, he's not resting at the Lord Vessel, and why they ring the bells.
One thing that I also should have mentioned, but I didn't, is like you see, for example, Sass here used the Soul of Gwyndolin, but he still has it. So that's like one of the very like most known glitches in Dark Souls 1 is the prompt duping. So what he's gonna do, or what he is doing, and he does the same thing with the bones that warp him back to his last bonfire that he sat at, to keep them and not lose them. So he again gets stuck in some kind of an animation, then queues up usage of the soul or the bone, and then uses an Estus flask. And what the game does is that it still gives him the prompt to use the soul. He presses yes, and then it's gonna use the soul, but instead of consuming the soul, it's gonna use the Estus charge. So that way he can like keep the soul, he can keep the bones, and this way you can get very slowly, but you could get to like infinite amount of souls basically.
All right, Duke keep first try for Sass, pretty good.
That was very nice, yeah.
Oh,
what did don't quit out? Siege?
What is this hell?
I don't know. That must be.
What I'm guessing is that he did too many rolling attacks. I wasn't watching specifically Siege.
Yeah, me neither.
Rolling attacks in this game actually do very slightly less damage than an R1. But you can use them to just to like get 2 kings on 4 kings. But if you do too many of them, then you don't do enough damage. So like this very, very small tiny amount of HP left is most likely rolling attack.
That has to be it, yeah. Because like he has the normal Meldraker damage, right? So
yeah,
he had to do. You can afford to do 1 rolling attack,
on each
and then
king,
R1, I think. Yeah.
On each king you can.
Really?
Even.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, he must have messed up big time there. Sass, in the meanwhile, doing a full control quit out on an invisible platform. It looks really stylish.
Yeah.
He nailed it. So full control quit out, we haven't explained that before, but basically what both players have right now is the spell full control, and what it normally does is when you fall from somewhere, and the fall is not gonna kill you in like it's not gonna take 100% of your health bar, so it's not a fully like lethal fall. It's gonna prevent that fall damage from occurring. But what we can actually abuse this for is as you're falling down, what you saw Sass do, he quits out right when he hits the ground, so then the game stores the position on the bottom, and when he loads back in, he's gonna be still alive, right? So basically what the full control does is it delays the damage being dealt to you, and then when he quits out before that happens and loads back in, he's gonna be alive, but at the bottom.
Yeah, because without full control, you die on the first frame that you hit the ground, so you can't do that.
Yes. And then he enters the Seath fight, and he destroys the Crystal of Immortality by using a bow, and then he's gonna do a couple of running attacks to the core, and just completely annihilate Seath.
Yeah, you actually have to be a bit careful how you do your running attacks with the Dragon Tooth, because Seath's core is like the place where he takes the most amount of damage, but that place is like pretty small, and the Dragon Tooth is so big that you can actually hit past it by attacking like too close from it. So with the Dragon Tooth, you actually need to be careful on how you do your attacks, because otherwise you would need a fourth running attack.
You saw Siege kill the blue golem. Sass did the same thing. That's to obtain the Broken Pendant, which is a deal. It's an item that's going to allow you to access the DLC.
Yeah, because why make a very simple way to enter a paid content for a convoluted one, right? All right, let's see how Duke Skip goes.
It's a masterpiece. Hello? Masterpiece of a game. Yeah, Duke skips quite a bit, actually, in the Duke's Arc as you go to first try. Very nice. It can be quite tricky. Like, it's consistent, but it is definitely one of the hardest skips, even though you might hear runners memeing around saying, like, easiest skip in the game, but it actually isn't that easy.
Yeah, it's kind of like move swap. We get used to it because every runner does it all the time. But it's actually, like, it's so old and it's required, so pretty much everyone kind of gets good at it. But I think it's still very hard for beginners of a skip. So. Yeah, it saves like 4 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, it's quite huge. It's quite huge, and it's really funny because it literally just abuses the level design. There's like no glitching involved, so that's really cool. In the meanwhile, you saw Sass kill the Moonlight Butterfly. He had some issues with it. He got some bad RNG with one of the attacks where Butterfly flew to the other side, but he managed to survive, which is the main thing. If he died there, he would have lost like minute 20, probably, which is not the end of the world, but it still wouldn't do him any good.
And Sass on his way to the DLC. So he's going to do the same full control drop that he did on his way to Hydra, to the same one, which is pretty fancy. Which is like a full control plunge, not a quit out this time.
Yeah, the plunge obviously is faster than the quit out, because once you quit out and you load back in, you have like 2 seconds of standing up, so it's definitely faster to just do the plunge instead. And this one, as Capitan mentioned, is really easy to do, so it's really a no-brainer.
Yeah, but you can't do a plunge everywhere. On some places, there's just nothing that you can plunge, because you need to, like, I guess by what I mean plunge, you could think that you just need to like plunge, but you actually need to plunge onto something and then slide off that thing to start falling off. So if you just have like a wall in front of you, then you can't do it. You need like some kind of slope that you can plunge and slide off.
All right, so Sass is approaching the Pikachu of this run. Another really RNG heavy boss. Let's see how what pattern he gets.
Dutch RNG maybe. It's a bad start.
He could have killed Guardian there. That's a little messed up on his part. Although I guess he could be playing it safe, waiting for this attack. This is where he can definitely. Oh, he got R1.
Oh, he's playing it safe. Yeah, I don't know how he missed the running attack.
Okay, now it's over. Okay, so a couple of missed opportunities there for Saas, but once again, I don't know if he knows that he's in the lead, but definitely so far he's playing what he needs to win this race.
Wait, what did we miss?
Wait, what happened? What did happen with
Did
Siege?
he bone back? Oh my god, did he bone
too early?
As soon as I saw him like do the Steve fight, I was like, all right, let's just explain what Saastutin.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Because he went through the clams, he did the setup right, so there was no clam in the fight.
What did he?
Wait, was there clam there? Was there
God.
clam? Oh, okay, there was a clam. So what we haven't explained is that both runners were taking a specific path through the clams because the Fogate spawns quite far from the actual fight, basically. And if you're not careful, the clam can get in through that point, and then the Fogate spawns, and you have the clam in the fight, basically. And yeah, you saw what happened. I didn't, Captain didn't, but you saw it. And Siege now lost over 5 minutes.
Maybe I will be able to share my inconsistent no clam setup with him.
Okay, this is. I mean, anything can happen in races, right? This is definitely far from over, especially in a game like Dark Souls, where every little mistake can cost you several minutes. Let's say Saas messes up on Nito, that's 5 minutes lost right there, and we're even again, you know? But yeah, this is a big opportunity for Saas to just run away with his quarterfinals.
Oh yeah, I'm looking back at the VOD. Yeah, so one of the problem with the clams is that they're going... they can go through Seath, like they don't care. So yeah, looking at the VOD, actually, he didn't even see it. Actually, he died before we could even see the clam. But yeah,
that's really unfortunate.
You can actually listen to the clams and be careful, and you can hear if one of them is there. But yeah, that was like insane, insane, like outplayed.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate on the part of the clam not going from a side. But then again, like the setup for the no clams is consistent if you do it correctly. So there must have been some kind of a little misstep on Siege's part, and the clam got into the fight.
Right, I'm guessing Sass is gonna play it safe on Artorias and not. Oh, never mind. He's going for the double.
Oh, he went for the double.
Yeah, I wouldn't go for that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone for that either, I guess.
Alright, very good fight. Nice.
Yeah, that was really good. So basically, Artorias is one of the enemies that you can stagger, but there can be some animation cancels where you will not stagger him, and they can be very risky, or especially if not executed correctly. But yeah, Sass got good RNG and played it well. Pretty straightforward fight for him.
Oh my god, I don't remember the last time I fought. Does he need to break the crystal again? He does, right?
No, the crystal should be destroyed now. But
doesn't it respawn when you die on loading screens?
Oh, okay. That I do not know. I know if you quit out, then definitely the crystal is gone.
Yeah, sorry, we are
I just
yeah, we don't know how.
Exactly. Like I just die on my way to Seath, okay, not on Seath.
Yeah, same. I like the manly drop, so. Although it's free, which is bad.
It is, yeah, but not really. You still won. Alright, so Sass is now gonna approach Calamite, but Calamite is a boss which you basically for the first time just need to see and trigger him. So basically in a casual playthrough you would get into the arena and then get destroyed by a dragon that flies up in the sky. And that spawns the fog gate, and then you need to talk to an NPC, Golf, who's gonna shoot down Calamite from the skies, and then you can fight him. So that's what Sass is doing right now. So he's waiting for the dragon, he saw him, then he bones back to the bonfire, and he's gonna continue to run towards Manus, the next DLC boss, because in order to get to the NPC he needs to get to.
Well, Siege didn't know either, I guess.
Yeah, Siege didn't know either. Oh, what?
Oh my god.
How is he alive?
Monka shake. Okay. Yeah, Siege.
Yeah, he's
crystalline boxes. Oh my god.
So Sass having some trouble with the full control quit out there.
Okay, he got it.
Okay, that's ooh. This is like that's what I'm saying, right? These are the things
Yeah.
that are pretty trivial in runs, but then a race like this happens. You know you already messed up. You're under that pressure, and then you just start cracking, and you get a climb in the fight. You get absolutely destroyed by RNG, and then you're in a situation that maybe you've never even been in. Crazy. Oh my god.
Actually, Sass bought on his way to Artorias, he bought Hidden Body. So that's like one of the most useful spells, especially in the DLC. So that reduces the range of aggro for the enemy. So if you walk close to them, they still will aggro and attack you, but it's much closer than usual. So you can run past them super easily.
Yep. So what you see Sass pick up there is the crest key. That's the key that he needs to access the NPC. I was waiting there for a little bit because I didn't like that monkey setup, but fortunately,
the Swiss monkey.
But fortunately, nothing happens. So yeah, he needs that key to access golf to shoot down Calamite, as I was saying earlier.
Mm-hmm. So that was a hell bridge. Try going through this bridge without Hidden Body, and you will understand why we call it Hell Bridge.
Even with Hidden Body, like getting through that bridge can be very tricky, especially if you're doing optimal strats. You're just one hit away from death. So then, like, you mess up something, you roll too late, or you get hit by a spell, you're dead.
Oh yeah, like the sorcerers have like a melee attack that is like so fast. If you run too
that's
close
almost
from them,
unreactable.
Alright, so Siege is on his way to the DLC now. Yeah, like now Sass has quite a big league. Like that death to Cease was super costly.
Yeah, that's one of those those deaths that you tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna do a no reset run, and then you die on Seep, and you're like, okay, let's reset. like that's just how it is.
And you might wonder why, like if it's that costly of a death, then why not just take the bonfire? Well, that's the same reason than not taking the Abyss bonfire. He still needs to keep the forest bonfire, so like taking the bonfire in Dukes would lose you like 30 or 35 seconds. I don't know exactly, but probably more actually, like 40, 50.
Yeah, it's quite a big of a difference. And usually, like, you know, mistakes can happen, but like if one of the runners chose to peach out way too much, they would just be losing so much time over the course of the run, just on their peaching in the routes. And yeah, when you have two really good runners against each other, you cannot really afford to do that. All right, so Sass messed up. He didn't switch his rings on the Foggate skip, so he's gonna have to do Madness without RTSR right now.
Oh damn.
So he did a little skip where he skipped the bonfire, the Foggate to Manus. But since he took the bonfire, Siege managed to die on the Guardian.
The snowball.
That's what you get for mid-rolling. That's what you get for mid-rolling. Just don't do it.
But you never need to roll, like, oh my god.
Well... Ooh, I just learned something new there. That was very slick by Sass, punishing that.
Yeah, Sass loves
that bait attack.
strafing Manus. I personally hate doing that. Like, I never strafe Manus.
Yeah, I never saw that before. That's really cool. I mean, I usually strafe the shotgun attack that you just saw, the magic attack, because that gives you the opportunity to finish the fight normally if you have RTSR most of the time. But yeah, Sass having really flawless execution now on the fight itself.
Yeah. Really good. Too bad that he doesn't have RTSR.
Yeah, yes, to do. This is like what the RTSR does. It brings so much damage to the table. So like a lot of new runners think like, oh my dog, I'm gonna be low on HP in boss fights. One hit means KO. But you saw that without RTSR, he had to dodge so many attacks, so many opportunities to get absolutely destroyed. But if he had RTSR, he would need like half of those openings.
Yeah.
Right? So he wouldn't have to dodge as much.
Yeah, so Siege has to mid-roll through. So he's gonna have to mid-roll for Guardian and Artorias, and then he will be able to fast roll.
Yeah, if you forgot, that's because he cannot equip the FAP ring still, because he cannot get rid of RTSR right now.
Yeah, there is the other ring slots, but he's like, we didn't really explain that, but both runners are doing what we call ring swaps. So that's one of the ring that you get when you kill Hydra. And it's a ring that half your HP, but gives you 50% more spells. Oh, Monk, shake this mid-roll. So they're using that to set up RTSR pretty consistently.
Okay, nice. This is crazy. Yeah, that works because, as I was saying, you take percentage damage from your max health from a fall. So basically, what to set up the correct RTSR, what you do is you halve your HP, then you take 80% damage from the 50% health that you already have, and then if you swap back, you are at less percentage of health overall, basically, which gets you into that RTSR range. I kind of explained it weirdly. I don't really know. I got confused myself, to be honest. But yeah, Siege finally into the DLC without dying, and Saas, meanwhile, is approaching the last boss of the DLC, which is Calamite, and Calamite can be quite tricky as well, depending on the RNG you get.
Yeah, Calamite is like one of the boss with the most questionable hitboxes in the game. But questionable or not, you can still consistently avoid them if you know just how bad they are, basically. So
yeah,
you should be able to just do that
consistently. Complaining about avoidable hitboxes.
Ah, that would be such a nightmare if people did that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a weird attack to get there.
Yeah. Okay, not the best RNG for sure, but really clean execution, dodging all of those attacks. Very well done.
So that was the last fight for Saas with the Dragon Tooth. So, because I guess we didn't say it, but on his way to Madness, he actually grabbed Dark Beads, which is like also one of the most overpowered things in this game. So he's now just gonna use magic entirely for the rest of the run.
Yeah, so he's like not that high on intelligence levels, right? He has like, what, 37 right now? Maybe a little bit more?
Yeah, should be 37.
Yeah, and even with that, and by just having the Bellowing Dragon Crest Ring, which is ring he bought from Griggs earlier, Siege in the meanwhile. Yeah. That's one of the attacks I was talking about.
That's why I personally avoid just going for the double stagger on races. Like, this one is super hard to stagger. That's also one of the most
and
costly.
And he didn't take the bonfire. Yeah. Damn, that's really bad. I guess what Siege did is kind of the mentality I went for. When I knew I was really far behind, I just decided to play as risky as possible. So I skipped that bonfire as well. But it only like loses like 8 seconds taking that bonfire. Maybe 15 because you need to set up RTSR. But like, that's just really unfortunate.
Context quote from Eddie.
Yeah,
Sass is not that.
It was a nice Twitch It's over now. I bid my farewell. But yeah, unfortunately, Siege really got the worst scenario where you need some absolutely precise positioning in order to be able to avoid the death there. Unfortunately, he was a bit too far to the right, behind Artorias instead of on his left side, and yeah, unfortunately he got destroyed. In the meanwhile, Sass, who is not that high on intelligence levels in the game, okay, I'm pretty sure Sass is a young and very smart gentleman, is approaching the hardest boss in the game, as some people say.
Haha.
Haha.
Yeah, I rate this route 2 out of 10 because he didn't kill Pinwheel with an a Catalyst R2.
Yeah, so. Exactly. That's the main victory. That's the goal, basically, right?
So the Tomb of Giants, I think, like casually is one of like it's a nightmare because you see absolutely nothing. If you go early into the game without having one of the light sources that you can have to be able to walk around, it's such a pain. But actually, the Tomb of Giants is pretty small of an area compared to other ones, and also not that complex. So learning how to run through it, it's not like that hard, but it can be a pain at first, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. So Saas taking the classic route through Tomb of the Giants.
Yeah.
Very easy
Not saving
to
2
navigate.
seconds on super insanely risky pathing.
For gates, yeah. Yeah, like as I said, Sass right now, not sure if he knows how far ahead he is or not, but he's just playing what he needs right now.
Siege still not taking the bonfire.
Yeah, Siege is just stubborn. Yeah, this is a very decent pace for Sass. Like, he only died on Undead Dragon, right? I think that was the only death so far, so really nice run.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he got 3 kings, which is like a 30-second time loss. Yeah. But that's about it. Like, he didn't die anywhere else. That's really nice. So he's gonna fight Nito now. Nito can do a scream attack. We have audio from him, so that's really good. We're gonna be able to hear if he gets a scream or not. Let's see if he's gonna do the shield dust setup.
No, I think he doesn't. No, he's done. Yeah, he's doing the plunge.
Oh, he plunges, yeah. So he's gonna show you how powerful Darkbeat actually is.
Yeah. Lord Soul, by the way.
Lord Soul boss. Perfect execution. Got the
all right,
3 Darkbeat kill.
Come on, Siege.
You can do it.
He's still not taking it safe.
Still, that's crazy. And now he's getting the flips, which he got really lucky. That was not a double flip.
That's gonna be a buffless fight, I guess. Okay.
Oh.
Yes, oh, never mind. You get a buff at the very end.
Yeah, but that was like Siege again. He was too far left this time. Like if Artorias did the same thing he did the first time,
he doesn't want like there's some kind of, like there's some type of hunter or something. It's like no bonfire, no peaching. Like he refuses to do Dragon Tooth +5. It's just like
Siege is just his own element.
Nah.
Another pretty hard fight. This time Sass actually has to like time his Darkbeat very well because Darkbeat is split into 6 different pieces, and if you miss just one piece here on Capra, you're not gonna one-shot him. So he's also doing. Did he do the RTSR setup? Yeah, he did, right? No.
Sass is going for like a different RTSR setup. Like
he's gonna get hit by the hollow. Yeah.
But yeah, actually, like one of the old route that used to be the main route done in all bosses was Grapple Mage, and in this route you had a helmet that boosts your damage and 52 intelligence, so it was much easier to one-shot Capra at the time. You could miss 1 or 2, I think. I don't remember. So back then you could just enter the fight, press R1, kind of whatever, and that worked. So when lower intelligence routes started to become a thing, Capra started to be a bit tricky. I personally didn't know about how to do this fight properly until like for quite a while actually. Yeah, rip RTS, rip Problem Mage.
No. It's not rest in peace. Just stay away. Like no, that route is horrible. Not as bad as Swordle Mage though.
I was about to say, is it?
Yeah, jokes on me. Like I just realized. Anyway, he's fighting Capra. He got the delayed slam, but still very easy dodge. It's a triple hit. If he got the slam like at the start of the fight, he would have been able to finish it in just 2 Darkbeats. But yeah, he wasted like 3 seconds or something. So
I'm pretty sure you still can kill him in 2 Darkbeats with RTSR. Like that's the point of RTSR, I think.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
It's just
you need to
hit
like all the beats. Yeah, you need to hit everything. Then again, he's setting up RTSR. He's gonna be approaching isolate now, but with a kind of special way. But yeah, he's gonna set up RTSR first for Quelaag, and he's gonna do the skip that I was talking about at the start of the game.
But Streamer, that's not where Lost Isolate is. Where are you going, Streamer?
This is a pretty impressive first playthrough for Saas so far, but I think he just lost his track.
Yeah, he's completely lost. Just should have like make a cartography playthrough before doing the run.
Yeah, this is very questionable decision making by Saastutin.
Maybe he forgot that he killed 4 kings. I don't know.
Maybe he's just going for the bonfire now.
Oh, that would make sense.
On his way to Gwyn. No, but for real, what you see Saas doing is again the seal skip. I'm not sure if he talked about it, but it's again just a normal fall control quit out, but it lets you bypass doing all the stuff with Ingvard. And what he's actually going to do is he's going to run through this area in like a specific path to avoid all the death planes. And he's going to do a fall control quit out all the way into Quelaag's domain. Now, it would have been faster for him to just do it normally and run through Blighttown, but since he doesn't have the master key, he cannot do that.
Yeah, especially in real time, there's a lot of quit outs that you need to do. So real time, it's definitely faster to go through Blighttown.
Yeah, for sure. So the thing with this quit out is every time you get like a pop-up on your screen, like a victory achieved or animation area change. Let's see if he gets it first. Perfect.
Nice.
Did he get it? Yeah, he did. Perfect. So the thing that's tricky, first of all, you don't see where the ground is, and second of all, if you have the yes or no on quit outs open, the game is gonna close it as you change the area, as it shows the Quelaag domain text. So what he has to do, he has to stay on like hovering over quit game and then do 2 inputs instead of 1, or 3 inputs even. Oh!
Don't go for the one shot.
No.
The fast attack. The fast attack.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, really. Doesn't happen too often. To die to Quelaag.
Siege finally equipping the top ring.
Woohoo!
Yeah, he's
so
gonna break
Siege's route finally got good. Yeah, so you can see the difference in the damage, though. You see that Siege is doing just much more damage with RTSR on.
Yeah.
But just to finish my thought, yeah, you basically need to do 3 inputs on that quit out instead of just 1, and delay it as much as possible to do it just right above the ground. If you quit out too early, the game is gonna close the menu for you, and if you do it too late, you're gonna die.
Yeah, so you need to do the inputs before, no, after the message pops up, but before you die, and that window is actually pretty tight.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that you don't see anything doesn't really help.
Yeah, if you could see the floor, because on the way to Hydra, they did the plunge fall control, but before that, we used to have just a regular fall control drop, and you have the exact same situation actually, where you go from what is it, Darkwood Garden to Darkwood Basin. So you also get a message popping up. But since you can see the floor, in that case, it's actually much easier.
Yep. So we're gonna see it again. It's kind of cool. It's a cool skip for sure.
Yeah, it's really badass. It looks really awesome. Like for the first time you see it, it just blows your mind.
In the meanwhile, Siege making his way to Calamite, the last boss of the DLC. Finally.
Yeah, he's gonna do the way to Calamite a bit differently, because he cannot unequip either of those rings. So if I remember correctly, he just takes from falling damage here. Yeah.
Yes. So Sauce was able to just use ring swap to get really easy RTSR, but yeah, Siege, since he cannot do that because he would have to either lose RTSR forever, basically, or break the FAP ring. In order to do that, he has to do an alternative setup. Sass again getting the Blighttown skip, very nice. So let's see if he fails the easy part again. That's killing Quelaag.
Yeah, Quelaag is actually like it's very, very, very hard to one-shot her. So usually you just go for the easy 2 shots because it's much safer. No, is it? Oh my!
He went for it again. Why?
I don't know why he's going for that.
Sass, stop. I guess he wants to make Siege feel better and get him closer. I don't know, like.
So, like, what you would usually do, I guess, it's shoot Darkbeat from way further away, where you would not be even close from one-shotting her, but still very easy to two-shot her. And Quelaag has, so it's actually like a spider with a body part like of a human on top of it, and if you hit the body part, the human part, it staggers her. So it's like super easy to just stagger her if you just aim at the body part. And Siege is having a really weird Calamite.
Yeah, very weird Calamite. I mean, he had the grab attack, like yeah, he's doing AI loop. You see Calamite just turning around, but then he lost it there. But if you basically attack the back paw and then move in a specific location, you can loop Calamite into just turning around, which, if executed perfectly, can be really, really good because you're preventing bad RNG from happening. But it's definitely slightly slower than getting like the perfect RNG. Yeah, the one shot is very. The thing is that you can even try to go for the one shot and then still be safe. Like Sass is delaying the Darkbeat way too much. Like what you saw there, he got hits and he staggered Quelaag at the same time. If he attacked just by, or casted a spell just a couple frames earlier, he would have staggered her. It wouldn't have been a one shot because he missed that, but the stagger would have given him enough time to just cast another Darkbeat and finish the fight.
Yeah, like even actually getting the one shot, even if he doesn't do the bad attack, like I think I've got it once ever when I went for it. It's just like so inconsistent.
Yeah, it's really not worth it. It's the time save is like 2 seconds or something, right? It's one Darkbeat.
Yeah,
cast.
it's just pressing R1 in extra time.
Yeah, if he was further away on the left. If it was further on the left, just reacting to chat, it would be very tricky to get the one-shot from that kind of angle. He wants to be like straight up facing Quelaag to be able to get the one-shot, which is questionable why he's going for it in the first place, but yeah. So we're gonna see Blighttown skip for the 3rd time. Got it again.
Yeah, even with all of that though, Sass is still ahead.
Yeah, Siege is right now roughly 7 minutes, I would say, behind.
I don't know exactly, but yeah, quite a lot.
It's like a 2 minutes time loss if you already
Sass.
if you die on Blighttown skip. Okay, Sass, what are you gonna do?
Oh, okay.
Okay, he gets the jump attack. He got saved by getting bad RNG.
Yeah, it's Quelaag saved her. Look at that! It's just a 2-shot, even if you're super far away.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Because of Sandgate skip, they were able to go to Anolondo early, but Quelaag is actually one of the earliest boss. It's even you can even kill Quelaag as the first boss when you leave the tutorial if you want. So yeah. That's like a really early game boss with an end game build with RTSR. It's like super easy to two-shot her. So yeah, that's weird.
I still don't understand why Sass is doing that. But honestly, what it did, since the difference is roughly 5 minutes, 7 minutes, sorry, between the runners. If Sass dies on Bed of Chaos, we could have a close match. Still.
Oh my god!
So,
imagine
like
a comeback.
Shouldn't give up. This would be crazy.
Wait.
But Sass in his previous round, he messed up Bed of Chaos.
Did Siege buy firebombs?
Ooh, did Siege buy?
Oh my god! Okay, I have the rods. If you...
I mean, he went past Chester, what, 2 times? Like, come on, you gotta remember. Sass, in the meantime, is approaching Centipede, which is gonna be a very straightforward fight. He's just gonna 2-shot the boss with Darkbeat, hopefully. I mean, there's no one-shot potential there, so
yeah.
There's literally, you cannot do anything wrong on that fight.
Nice jump.
Optimal movement.
It's RNG manipulation, don't worry, guys.
Just shooting one dark beat to be sure this time. So he shoots an extra dark beat. For Quailag, he had to do just one. Sass.
Okay, I have the VOD.
Alright, let's see.
Oh, you actually bought her bombs, okay.
Oh, okay, good. So Siege got a scream, but he managed to dodge it very easily. This is nice. Now he gets a grab, and he's gonna play it a little bit safer. He attacks Nito from a distance, and now he's gonna come closer and just finish him off with dark beat. Very nice.
Alright, so Sass is doing the fire state, a little bit of quit outs. So what is happening here is that the elevator is actually not part of the same map that Sass currently is in. So he's currently in Kulak's domain, but the elevator is belongs to Los Isidis. So in the priority list of the things that the game needs to load, the elevator is lower. So it loads Kulak's domain and Saastutin first, and then the elevator. And by quitting out repeatedly over and over again, which moves you slightly backward every time, you will end up at some point just falling through it before the elevator is there. And that allows you to just not having to run all the way around, and also gives you a very easy fire stage kill and saves like around a minute.
Yeah. Since the fire stage AI triggers like at the FOB gate, you never go through there, so the AI is never loaded, and then it's very easy. Since you deal damage with your Dragon Tooth from the plunge, then it's just 3 dark beats to finish it off. So Sass is now gonna fight Centipede. This fight is quite comfy with magic. Let's see if he gets the 2-shot.
Comfy. I don't know. Okay.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh, what gold gamer. So yeah, that aiming there is actually quite precise if you want to get a 2-shot. And if you mess it up, you like might not even kill Centipede in 3 dark beats, and there you're kind of screwed. Let's see if he takes the safety bonfire.
Missing the point that you don't have enough with 3, you really need to miss a lot.
Yeah, that's very true, but I mean, it can happen, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so Sass is not taking the bonfire. Just like he didn't in his previous race. Let's see if he practices Pokeballs.
Wow, Kara, wow. Jinx.
I'm just saying, like, it pains me to see Siege being so far behind, you know?
Yeah.
I'm a thoughtful man.
Well, Siege could be a little bit faster if he didn't peach on gaping. Because, yeah, he didn't get RTSR, so... Well, I'm
yeah,
really
so, no RTSR gaping, but doesn't take the Artorias bonfire, which loses 7 seconds. Like, It's like
Fucking
questionable decisions, dude.
Yeah, Lost is the least is kind of boring to run through. We don't have really much to say for Sass here.
Yeah.
You literally
Also,
just
we lost
run
our
past
eyesight, so...
things.
So he's gonna...
Vanilla lava texture or better, fight me.
So he's gonna approach Bed of Chaos, which is like maybe the worst boss in this game, design-wise.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, it's really a gimmicky boss, but fortunately for the speedrun, there's a strategy called Toki Bombs. Shoutouts to Toki. I've never talked to the guy, but thank you so much for the strat.
Yeah.
He's gonna use 2 fire bombs. So basically the way you are supposed to kill this boss is go to the left, destroy an orb, go to the right, destroy an orb, and then you can approach the middle, and then you can destroy the worm in just 1 hit, basically. That's the gimmick of this fight.
Yeah, the thing that Kara forgot to say, though, is that there is firestorms and arms and the floor collapsing below your feet.
Floor collapsing, exactly. It's horrible. So what Sass is gonna do is gonna stand in a specific place and then use bow to aim to specific places, and the orbs just got destroyed. Very nicely done. He got it very quick, like no problem at all. So he destroyed both of those orbs just with a firebomb and saved like minute 40 roughly, and then he's gonna dark beat the worm and just completely destroy this boss, like super easy. Very well done. So now Sass only has Gwyn.
Yeah.
This is a pretty decent run. He's gonna match his time roughly from the previous rounds, which is really nice. Except he died on Bed of Chaos in the previous round. Have I mentioned that before? I'm not sure. Yeah, like Sass, as I was saying in the beginning, like very skilled player, number 4 on the leaderboard. So really nice gameplay today.
Alright, good Blyton skip for the Siege.
For Siege, yeah. Let's see if he goes for the one shot.
Oh my god.
You also saw him cast fall control. That's to be able to survive the next fall after ringing the bell.
Yeah, see, look
Okay,
at that. He's
see,
casting
Siege.
way earlier.
Like,
That's the
he
safe way
didn't
to
take
do it.
Artorias Bonfire, but I have to commend him here. Like, just, I don't know, man. Like, you lose 2 seconds. Just don't do it. In the meanwhile, Sass uses Silver Knight in the kiln to get into RTSR range. He dodged the second one, very nice. And now there's basically nothing except for one parry between him and the victory.
There's the third knight. The third Black Knight can be hard to dodge. I mean, like like the way you run through the kiln, like the first 3 Black Knights are the one that you need to worry about. Like this one has an attack that can hit you if you dodge it. Not the correct way.
He's like the attack that attacks like behind him, right?
Yeah, but it depends. Like if you like try to circle around him, then you're still in range or something. It's kind of weird. But those 2 last, like it's so funny. They're unable to hit you. You
I would not hire these guys.
They will never hit you.
I would
even if you
never
try.
hire these guys. With my bodyguards, like holy shit, man. So he rolls to not get destroyed through the fog gates. Nice parry. 1, 2. Hard boss.
Yeah, congrats to Sass.
Congrats to Sass.
Can you get the 126 dream? No.
I think so. It's gonna take a bit to get into the credits.
Already?
Yeah, it's
Not even 126.
Yeah, I would disqualify him honestly.
Maybe on SRL. Let me check. No, it's a 127.02 on SRL.
Oh, damn.
Shaking my head. Congrats to Saastutin.
Congrats to Sass. Really nice one.
One death?
Yeah, to Under Dragon, I believe, and
Yeah.
then the 3 kings. Well, we say 1 death, but then there were 2 deaths to Quelaag, so...
Oh my god, how could I... Dude, I completely forgot about Quelaag.
Yeah, he lost like 4.5
Yeah,
minutes.
one death and like 8-minute loss to Quelaag. I mean... I'm sorry. I have a potato brain.
Don't we all? I mean, you have a potato brain from running this game, so it's understandable.
I don't know how I should like take that.
Alright, so we're gonna wait for Siege to finish, then I guess we can try to get both of them for a post-match interview.
Are we waiting for Siege to finish, or?
Well, I mean, I guess we can take Sass in the meanwhile, because Siege only has Bed of Chaos and Gwyn left as well.
Or do you ping him?
Yep.
Oh, but no, wait, but we have a separate server. Because we used to do the commentary on the Spitzel server.
Well, yeah, but we can send him the invite.
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess. So that's a 120 in game time? No. I can't see what that
Nah, it has to be like 122, hold on. Is it 12016?
Yeah,
No, there's no
12016.
way.
It is. It is.
Yeah, I
How is the
guess.
crash so huge? He didn't like. I mean, Siege crashed, but
Hi.
that's fast.
Hello,
Hey, Sass.
Sass. Congratulations on your victory.
Thanks. Yeah.
So
How
tell us,
are you
what,
satisfied? Go on, Cappy, go on.
what happened at Quillag? Tell us.
I don't know about the Quellac thing. Like I've never died like that before, not even once. Also,
Oh,
my
really?
dog is barking. Nice timing.
Izzy?
So
But
that
yeah,
was the
like
first
I didn't
one.
think that I was YOLOing when I went for it, and like when I died once, I thought the race was over. I thought about forfeiting, and then when I died the second time, like I really didn't think that I would win the race.
Yes, Siege has been like having some issues here and
Yeah,
there.
some issues, yeah.
I guess that's what he gets for playing the game for like 1 hour in the last week. But yeah, that wasn't really what I was expecting. That was
You
so
know
bad.
that he is lying. You know that he prepared hard.
Yeah, I don't know.
24
I don't think
hours.
that he's actually lying. He never lies.
Yeah, except when he says, watch this, watch this.
Yeah, I guess.
So, how satisfied are you with your run? I mean, no major mistakes apart from Under Dragon and Quellac, right?
Well, I got 3 kings, that was my own mistake, but other than that it was pretty decent. But like at the end I just don't know about those 2 Quellac deaths. It would have been a nice run otherwise, it would have been like a low 120 RTA, I think.
Oh
But
yeah,
I guess
how,
I'm kinda satisfied.
like how is the difference between RTA and in-game time so big? I don't. Did
It's
I
because I
forget?
have to do blight down skip 3
Yeah, the
times.
blight down skip, yeah.
Oh,
the quit outs,
I had to do
right.
so many quit outs, and I also had to quit out for the elevator when I died twice. So I had to do like 4 extra quit outs twice.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, our boy Sass is gonna go into the semifinals in the winners bracket, facing the winner of a very, very cool match
Monka shake.
between Captain here, my boy, and Nax HPL. Who would you rather face, Sass?
I don't know, I think Captain, because might as well. Like if you're gonna beat someone, you might as well beat the best.
Ooh, what if he's
Yeah,
not the
it's
best
not how
by
races work, though. Unfortunately.
then?
I mean, if I die to Quellac twice, although I think next time I'm gonna do DT +5 or Kamul's route. I really don't want to do Mail Tracker anymore.
Yeah, I'm
Why
sticking
is
to
that?
Dragon Tooth +5.
Honor, because Siege would complain so much if I switched routes.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
The Peach Tooth
I
+5.
suppose.
Yeah. But I mean, now that I exposed him with this route, now I can finally stop running Mail Tracker forever.
Confirmed
Now I can
faster.
just run Swordle Mage.
Rip your sanity.
Yeah, and rip the World Record too. Probably not.
Wow.
Oh right.
He still has
Siege is doing,
useless, yeah. Since he does the same things as Sordal, he leaves this boss last to save like half a second on a rig swap.
I mean, wouldn't that be faster as well with like the old route that Sass did?
Yeah, maybe. I just never tested it. I don't want to like mess up my goals. The most important thing in speedrunning.
Yeah, the leaderboard, the gold leaderboards.
Yeah.
No, not really, because what you can do is you can switch your rings. No, never mind. Yeah, you're right, I guess.
All right, let's
I
see
mean, I
what's
don't
a
think
creative
they'll
thing.
use it last time to it anyway. Like you can do the ring swap while you're pulling the lever, so like where does the time save come from?
Well, in Solo Mage, you have to warp before, like you have to do Gwendolyn at some point. That's why you do it.
Yeah, but
Well,
you don't have to
yeah.
do that in Mail Tracker, so
Yeah.
I don't think that
Yeah.
it really would save any time.
Well, technically, you swap the ring. You can swap the ring to Dust Crown on the lever, and then you sit at the bonfire, and then you have to unequip it, right?
Yeah, but you can do that after Breath of Chaos, I guess, if you go for that strat, like while you're
Yeah,
waiting for the
yeah.
burnout. But I mean, that's like a tiny time save.
Yeah, that's like a half a second. That's what I'm
And
saying.
this is a dead route anyway, so who cares?
Ooh,
Rip.
Well, I mean, it is the truth.
Yeah.
unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah,
Just like Siege's route is pretty dead.
yeah, as we can see.
Yeah, like yeah. So I don't know if you ran with like his stream open or something.
No, I didn't. Like, I was looking at the speedruns live chat like the whole time.
Oh,
So
Just
you were
waiting
waiting
for him to
for the
finish.
dot done.
Yeah, like I was so scared of it. Like when I got the and when I was at Gwyn, I thought I was going to lose by like 5 seconds. And even when I killed him, I still thought that I would lose. Like if there's only when I saw the credits that I actually thought I would win.
Yeah, I mean,
he's fighting Win right now.
Siege really, he died on Seath on the clan, and then he died on Artorias without taking the bonfire. So those were his like biggest time losses.
Well, he died to
those are
Gordon
huge
first
time
as
losses.
well.
But
Yeah,
he didn't
but
take the
that's
bonus-
like 2
yeah,
minutes.
he skip it this time.
Congrats to Siege.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, he skipped the
135.
bonfire after Guardian.
All right, let's get him here.
Get him here. Will you DM him?
No, go ahead, because I don't have the link.
Oh, okay.
Reminder that I didn't kill all bosses, by the way.
Yeah, not yet. I mean, I guess Kata will do it.
Well, I'm trying, but
Yeah, but one of these days. Can't be unlucky forever.
unlucky and bad, I guess.
Yeah.
What is that?
The trees.
I don't
nothing
know
you
that
can
thing
do.
that is called luck.
So yeah, I messaged Siege, but he's offline on Discord, so I hope that he sees it.
Oh, yeah. He's like I don't know what he's doing. Oh yeah, he's
Do you have-
offline.
Yeah, but we can wait around for a bit. I don't need to go anywhere.
Yeah, we're not gonna run away from the face-off. Go on, Siege. Where's the SRL?
Well, in the meanwhile, Siege goes to losers bracket. He's gonna be sitting in round 4, waiting for the winner of match between Danflesh and Zastrain, which could be an interesting matchup because Zastrain is like a sleeping corgi kind of, right? Because his PB is not the best, but he can definitely perform well, and he can perform well in races.
Yeah, he races
So-
very often, so he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. And Dan is a very good player, but he got twice 125, which are really decent times. But against Kimp, in his race against Kimp, the pressure got to him, really, and he ended up with 138, which in both races that Zaz did, he would beat that time. So that's going to be a really interesting matchup.
Siege is not showing up.
Siege is just watching the credits in disbelief, just like I did earlier. Like,
Or maybe like he just left his room, just like dropped the controller.
Maybe. I was kind of surprised that you finished your run, Kata. Like, I thought you would
I
forfeit.
wouldn't have. Well, I knew it was over after I died.
Like, I
and-
wasn't sure if you were gonna make it in time for this race. The way you were down.
Well, because I wanted to forfeit. Like, I knew it was done after I died in Crystal Caves, but Brood bullied me into finishing. He threatened me to call me Alibaba for the rest of my life, so I was like, I'm not letting that happen.
Yeah, that would be kind of bad if someone.
Yeah,
did that.
so I
that's
finished
a
it.
shame.
Oh, Siege
Oh,
is
yeah,
here. He
Siege
just
is-
quit out.
You're not forfeiting.
127.
127.59. Yeah, around 7, almost 8 minutes behind. Yeah, he really, the deaths that Siege has, well, really, really costly.
Oh, Siege connected to Discord?
What?
I see him online. Oh, he joined? I mean, he joined the Discord.
Yeah.
Come on, Siege.
Damn the
This is-
wait.
Ooh.
I Siege.
Hello?
Hi, Siege.
Hello, Siege.
Hello.
Hello?
Congrats on finishing.
Thank you. It seems that I lost the potato wars.
Yeah, but I mean, I got 2 1% meme deaths. I died to Quelac twice. I
Oh,
got the fast attack twice in a row.
you got 2 1% deaths. Oh, how
Yeah,
interesting!
1% memes.
I
nothing
got
I could
4
do.
for 1% memes. At least.
Nah, but
4 of them.
those aren't real. Like, those are just mistakes.
So, you know, I wanted to get sub 80 in this race, and I only missed that by like 15 minutes. Overall, I'm very pleased and happy with myself, because 15
yeah, I mean, you
minutes
got sub
is
90.
very,
That's
very
pretty good
close.
for a new runner.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not sub 90.
Well, sub 90 IGT at least.
Oh, yeah, that's...
So
that's
if you want Siege, you can text me, and I have like a setup for no clams. Like, but it only works 20% of the time, though. I'll warn you. But
Yeah, well, I used it and it didn't work. This is the last time I got killed by a clamp that was completely hidden by seed was like 2016, I think. So
that one was
that was
absolutely
it.
perfect. Like
That was
you died
so
before we could even-
unlucky.
Yeah.
that
the
actually
animation
sounds
was
kinda
also
unlucky.
beautiful when I died. Also, I never died to Sith like that. He's never supposed to be able to kill you after a double spin attack. You go for a punish, and it's fine. This time, apparently not. So that's
Oh,
new.
what, Sif?
Mm-hmm.
You messed up your position there. You were supposed to be a bit more on the left, and then that attack would have whiffed. His attack would have whiffed.
No, well, at least that wasn't a 1% meme then. That's a new mistake.
Yeah,
Saastutin also had some difficulties seeing the 127.
I mean, I died twice to Quelac. That was like 6 minutes lost.
nah, that's like, yeah,
Probably more like 5
really
minutes.
guess,
I lost
yeah.
like 4.5 minutes IGT, but I probably lost like a bit over 5 minutes.
Yeah,
RTA.
that
Then,
seems like.
Oh yeah, why did you have to restart your game, Siege? By the way.
Yeah, what
Oh,
happened at Hydra?
that's also something that never happened before. For some reason, my game started dropping frames, I guess, like crazy. It started to even int my inputs. I had to restart it. That never
Are you
happened before, not
kidding?
even close.
Okay,
Not
I never
even
done
before.
that.
Yeah, me neither. It's okay. Oh,
Yes,
okay,
like
this
that,
just happened in the rest, I guess. That's
Yeah,
Like,
remember
there
to
has been
install
this bug
the.
with Chatty where it uses like all of your CPU, and then the game starts lagging.
well, I've used the same version for the previous races as well, and it was fine. So
Yeah, I don't know.
Next time, try to get the no logo mod, CBH,
Yeah,
oh,
in case something like this happens.
yeah, because the RTA time loss is huge if you have to watch the logos every time.
So anyway, Siege, congrats again on finishing. You're gonna be facing the winner of Dan Flesh versus Zaz. Who would you rather face?
uh-oh. I guess I would rather face Zez because Dan Flesh is the new upcoming God Gamer, so
Russian power.
Yeah, it's the new Prodigy. It's the new Stanister from all bosses.
Damn. All right, fair enough.
So yeah, that was the last match for today. We have the Zaz train against Dan tomorrow, as well as Nax versus myself with Monkey Shake. It's gonna be great.
All right, well, congrats again to both the races. Saastutin, the winner, Siegewell with the honorable finish, and yeah. Thank you
thanks
for
for watching.
Captain.
Good
Thank you,
night.
Captain, for being a great commentator.
Thank you for being here with me as well, Kara.
Ooh. My pleasure. And yeah, we're gonna see you with some more races tomorrow.
all right. Thanks. Bye bye.